took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Carnival.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated because I'm a professional as an entertainer, for us to have a safer Boyta Carnival.
I am DJ Flames and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to turn up Sugar Mass 50.
In the top stories, COVID task force investigating quarantine breaches in Nevis. Guyana unconcerned about AstraZeneca vaccine safety issues, and Ireland temporarily suspends use of AstraZeneca vaccine. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Monday the 15th of March 2021. I'm Jason Davis. Nationally, the National COVID-19 Task Force is addressing two security breaches that have occurred within the past 4 days at a resort on Nevis, which allows COVID-negative guests to vacation in place without leaving the property. According to a statement from the task force, the first of these two incidents occurred on Thursday evening and involved two guests who illegally left the resort premises for approximately 2 hours. The second security breach took place after midnight on Saturday morning and involved 6 guests who also managed to leave the resort's compound without authorization. The general public is advised that all 8 of the individuals have been removed from the resort and are now housed at a government quarantine site until their departure. They will also appear before the magistrate to answer the charges of breaking the country's quarantine regulations. In light of these security breaches, which are serious offenses, the task force has suspended the vacation in place designation for the tour group at the hotel until all matters are fully investigated and measures to address security lapses are put in place. As a result of these two security breaches and the fact that the 8 persons may have come into contact with a number of local individuals at a night spot on Nevis, an aggressive contact tracing exercise has been started by the Ministry of Health. This process will result in the quarantine and testing of the individuals who may have been exposed to the 8 guests in an effort to control the spread of infection should any of the 8 guests test positive for COVID-19. The task force will continue to provide regular updates on this investigation. The Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Utilities, Post and Urban Development held a ceremony recently to honor 50 of its retirees for their years of service to the ministry. Minister of Public Infrastructure, the Honorable Sean Richards, spoke of the work and service of the ministry's employees over the years and commended them for the part they've played in ensuring that the performance standards of the ministry is maintained.
I must say that I truly and sincerely appreciate the level of service you have devoted to the ministry. Some of you have excelled in your areas and have gone the extra mile by helping others to succeed as well. Indeed, today the ministry stands proud to honor you for the part that you have played in maintaining our performance standards and commitment to excellence.
He thanked the former employees for their years of service and applauded their commitment throughout the years.
We applaud your long service and meritorious performance with a simple but significant token of our appreciation. As a valued member of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Post and Urban Development, I would like to take the opportunity to thank you for your hard work and your dedication over the years.
Following the minister's remarks, the audience was treated to a performance by second runner-up from the National Senior Calypso Final, Queen Kibbe. The Minister of Public Infrastructure then presented plaques to the 50 retirees. The National Backyard Gardening Competition 2020-2021 came to a close over the weekend with a prize-giving ceremony on Saturday. The competition, which was jointly sponsored by the Ministries of Agriculture and Tourism, sought to award vegetable farmers and ornamental gardeners. The Honourable Lindsay Grant, Minister of Tourism, spoke on the importance of the competition.
This initiative, managed jointly by the Ministries of Agriculture and Tourism, was formally launched on October the 10th, 2020. It is intended to promote food security and healthy eating through the consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables. Equally, we use this avenue to spread the important message of civic pride and responsibility, nurturing that sense of patriotic duty that compels us to preserve and maintain a pristine, immaculate, and attractive St. Kitts.
Top awardees in the vegetable garden section were first place Dawn Hodge, a 50-foot gardening hose. We now move to news on the regional scene. Health authorities in Guyana are unconcerned about issues arising in some countries following a person's inoculation with the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. More from Tamika Rodney of HGP TV News.
On March 7, Austrian authorities suspended inoculations with a batch of the AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccines as a precautionary measure following the death of one person and another fallen ill. Denmark, Norway, and Iceland also paused the rollouts of the vaccine as they launched investigations into reports of recipients developing blood clots after being administered the vaccines. Thailand on Friday also became the first Haitian country to halt the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine over safety concerns. These concerns were on Friday during the daily COVID-19 update brought before Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, who maintained that the vaccine, having undergone extensive regulatory assessments, is safe and efficacious.
The European Regulatory Authority has put out a statement, and that statement clearly said that there wasn't a link between the vaccine, AstraZeneca vaccine, and this clotting problem that was discovered. So since there's no link, there's no reason to be concerned about it.
He added that stringent monitoring of adverse events among local recipients has not uncovered any serious side effects.
Globally, with AstraZeneca vaccine and with the Sinopharm vaccines, we don't expect adverse events because not much has been recorded in the global literature, scientific literature. So we don't expect them, but we still monitor for them. And we have set up a National Pharmacovigilance Committee, and if we do detect any such complications, if you like, then we are also obligated to report it internationally.
On Sunday, Ghana received 80,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccines, which are currently being used to immunize healthcare workers and persons aged 60 and over. Meanwhile, Ghana on Friday donated 5,000 of the 100,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines recently donated by the governments of China and India to Barbados to aid in its inoculation drive. 1 month ago, Barbados donated 3,000 vials of the AstraZeneca vaccine to Guyana to kickstart the vaccination exercise. Those doses have since been given to frontline healthcare staff. In providing an update on the filaria campaign thus far, Minister Anthony divulged that in excess of 400,000 persons have been administered the medication across 8 of the 10 administrative regions. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
In St. Lucia, it has been well over a year since the mysterious disappearance of a gun and ammo at the home of the capital city's law enforcement arm. Now, the mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, has revealed another shocking plot twist. More in this report.
A viral video of security camera footage from what appeared to be the offices and the armory of the city police department piqued public interest in May 2020. It was later revealed by the CEO of the CCC, Wilfred Pierre, that the disappearance of a firearm and ammunition from the armory was under investigation.
All I can tell you is that it is under active investigation, not by ourselves alone, but by CID.
Fast forward to March 2021, and the matter, according to Mayor of Castries, Peterson Francis, has taken a peculiar turn.
Any update on the missing firearm?
What has happened is that the footage that we had, which was submitted to police, it was not sufficient what they were looking at. So right now that has reverted to us, so now we are looking at administrative measures.
In what way? Can you elaborate?
Well, the footage, somebody played with the footage. So basically that's what the investigating officer. So they have revert that thing to us, where you find that we are now looking at administrative redress.
The mayor was further probed on what actions would be taken against the individual found to be implicated in the missing firearm matter.
There are many forms that it takes. I mean, he could be suspended for a certain period of time without pay or with pay, or without pay, or he could be dismissed.
And the firearm still remains missing?
Yes, it's still at large.
Given the upswing in gun crimes and gun violence on St. Lucia, there is deep consternation about a firearm and ammunition from the home of the city police being possibly out in the public domain. Critics contend that is a development that not only causes unease, but threatens to bring the organization into disrepute. Therefore, observers argue that it is imperative that the matter involving the missing firearm is thoroughly investigated and the person or parties responsible for the turn of events be held to account. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Internationally, Ireland has temporarily suspended the rollout of the AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine following reports of blood clots in adults who received the shot in Norway. Irish Health Minister Stephen Donnelly said in a tweet on Sunday the decision was based on, quote, new information from Norway that emerged late last night, end quote, adding that this was a, quote, precautionary step, end quote. Al Jazeera's Jonah Hull reports.
Ireland's decision to call a temporary halt to the use of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine could have far-reaching consequences. The country's immunisation authority pointed to a safety alert raised this week by the Norwegian Medicines Agency after 4 healthcare workers suffered serious blood clotting events within 14 days of receiving the AstraZeneca jab. Denmark and Iceland have raised similar concerns, with the ripple effect extending to Bulgaria and as far afield as Thailand. The Irish move was described as precautionary. We will continue to monitor the situation, and if we can be satisfied that these events are coincidental and not caused by this vaccine, we will reassess the situation. The UK-based AstraZeneca has defended its vaccine, saying that safety data collected with 17 million doses administered so far shows no evidence of increased risk of pulmonary embolisms or thrombosis. Pending further investigation, the European Medicines Agency says the benefits of the vaccine outweigh the risks, and the World Health Organization says its rollout should continue.
It really doesn't mean that it is potentially unsafe. It has been tested widely. There have been no reported problems beyond what you would normally expect with a vaccine, with any vaccine. And really, the occurrence of these thrombotic events, these blood clots, is no greater in the vaccinated population than it is in the unvaccinated population. So quite why regulators in these countries have taken their decision beyond being extremely cautious is not really clear.
Inevitably now, concerns will linger. The Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been beset by problems including political disputes and delivery delays, now add safety concerns. It's important to note that no one is alleging a conclusive link between the vaccine and these blood clotting events. But the longer that doubt is allowed to persist, the worse the effect on trust and therefore the overall vaccine rollout. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, London.
And now for the weather. Current conditions are partly cloudy skies with a light breeze of 5 miles per hour from the north. The temperature is 29 degrees Celsius or 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Seas are moderate with waves of 3 to 5 feet. The weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis says low moisture levels will keep shower activities at a minimal. Expect mostly sunny conditions with little shower activity today, and conditions will be mostly fair tonight. Sunset today will be at 6:21 p.m., sunrise tomorrow at 6:18 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these